Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your monthly reading for February 2024. Thank you as always to everyone who watches, likes, shares, comments on the videos and subscribes to the channel. If you want a personal reading, see the info in the description box. So these are the oracle decks I'll be using for today's reading. Yes, as you can see, the beautiful creatures deck is actually a tarot deck, but at present it feels more like an oracle deck to me, so that's how I'm going to use it. It has given me Aquarius vibes. As you know, we're in Aquarius season right now, and a few of the themes that come with Aquarian energy are innovation, doing things differently, doing things in a different way. So yeah, for me, using the tarot deck as an oracle deck, doing things in a different way. Aside from the sun now being in Aquarius and it being Aquarius season, there were major transits relating to Aquarius and Pluto on the 20th and the 21st of January. Pluto entered Aquarius after being in Capricorn for 15 years. So that is like going into a brand new era for all of us collectively and individually. And Pluto will retrograde back into Capricorn a few times throughout the year, but for the most part it is in its Aquarius era now. I have done a video on that. It's the video was for the full moon in Leo, which was on the 25th of January, but it also had individual messages for Pluto, for each sign, each zodiac sign for Pluto going into Aquarius as well. And also there was a conjunction with the Sun and Pluto in Capricorn. The Pluto Aquarius situation, that will be that's relevant now for the next couple of decades for us all, so you might find the messages in that video useful. If you want to watch that, I'll put a link at the end of on the end screen of this video. But we're going to get into your reading now. So we're going to start off with a message from the beautiful creatures deck, and then we'll get you a Power of Surrender card. So what is Sagittarius's main theme for February 2024? And messages, as always, are for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. So what does Sagittarius need to know for February 2024? What you need to know. Right, you have the world. So they're referring to it as completion. I'm going to be taking these messages, using it as an oracle deck quite literally, but yeah, it's completion. And we'll get you a Power of Surrender card as well. What else does Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising need to know for February 2024? You also have Surrender to Prayer. So if you can read that, it says, give yourself over completely to prayer. When you pray from your heart, you will be heard throughout the universe and answers and support will arrive. Really strangely, when I was just shuffling the cards, I was thinking about when we're empowered, when we're feeling really empowered, we feel strongly that everything is down to us. And don't get me wrong, obviously, the choices we make in our life, it is pretty much down to us, isn't it? I've said before that unless you are like in a really vulnerable situation, like physically or mentally incapable of making choices for yourself, nobody rescues you, do they? If you're fully capable, then you, whatever situations happen, you have to rescue yourself. You can ask for support, you can pray for support, ask for help from other people, but it's on you. But I was just thinking, for some reason then I was thinking about, you know, when you're feeling really stuck and you don't know what to do, or just in general you just feel like you wish you could hand the reins over, and just pray that whatever it is that you believe in, God, angels, ancestors, whatever it is, that it will just kind of say, this is what you should do, this is what you should be doing. Yeah, it's really strange. I was thinking that, and then you get surrender to prayer, because it says give yourself over completely to prayer, doesn't it? So, but anyway, I don't know why that thought is relevant. It might be relevant to someone. We're going to get you tarot cards out now and see what comes up for that as well. So what is the main theme for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising for main theme for February 2024? What do you guys need to know? The Strength card. I think one thing I am getting from this is or one message that's coming through is if you've just wrapped something up and you're about to start something new, go into a new cycle, new way of life, moving, new job, whatever, relationship, whatever it is, it could be absolutely anything. You might really be feeling like you need some sort of support in taking the next steps. Whether it is spiritual support, physical support, whatever, but it feels like you could need, you're feeling like, right, I'm ready for the new, even if you've already made a start, but it's just like, I need a bit of guidance, I need a bit of help. But anyway, let's get you your energy, a card for your energy. So you got strength as your main theme, which is not a bad card to have, is it? I like that. That's interesting. There's a need for courage here. There is a need for courage by the looks of it. Let's get external energies. What do we need to know about that? External energies. The Star, that is really nice energy, that is. And for me, the kind of reading this is, that star is, it is the divine, that divine energy, that divine source that could, if you ask for help, it can sort of boost you. I mean, you're already in Queen of Wands, which is, it's a good energy, it's a strong energy, you've got strength there. But even as strong as she is, she may need a bit of a boost sometimes, so the Star could be that boost. Let's look at the past energy. You've got the Emperor and the Hanged Man. Present, current energy. Two of Wands. I mean, I did say, like, taking the next steps. For me, this can be that. It's a choice, isn't it? Or needing to make a choice, and that's where you may need that extra boost. Where, I mean, you've got quite powerful, strong cards here. You've got the Emperor here, even in the past as well. But as I say, it's like maybe needing a bit of a boost or a little bit of guidance, even as strong as you are, to make the next move. Let's look at potential future energies for you. Three of Swords. Yeah, okay. I had to mentally ask myself, is that right with this kind of energy? And I'm getting a yes. So I don't know if that's like a projection in the future, a fear of disappointment, of being hurt. And then let's get your guidance. Magician, you've got such empowered cards. I mean, obviously I know the Three of Swords is a bit of can be a bit of a scary looking card, but the Magician, the Emperor, the Queen of Wands, Strength, the Star, those are really empowered cards. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Right, I'm going to read this message. I know, obviously, I know what it means. I'm sure many of you that are very much into tarot know what it means, but I'm using it as an oracle deck today, so I'll read it. And obviously, each individual tarot deck has its own take on the meanings of each card, and sometimes it's just it's a nice reminder of the different things that it can mean as well. So let's look up the world. So it says, voila, did you know that you're through? You're done and you're on top of the world. I'm proud of you. And the key word, as it says here, is completion. A long time ago, before she became a goddess, Fauna, this one, was assigned to protect and watch over the kingdom of Earth that she inhabited. Due to her outstanding merit of work in caring and nurturing all the animals, the Roman goddess Terra made Fauna the goddess of all the animal kingdom. All the animals loved Fauna dearly. All of them obeyed her orders. This new goddess set a goal for herself, to make the animals in her kingdom produce and breed more of the same species as well as new and different ones. Of course, the other gods who ruled water and air animal kingdoms did not believe that was possible. She held on to this goal for as long as she could. For so long, she motivated her animals to mate and produce. This took a lot of time and endurance. I'm sure it took a lot of endurance for the animals. Right. After long millenniums of encouragement and waiting, Fauna woke up to discover acres and acres and more acres of different kinds of animals that had been produced. Terra, being proud and astonished by Fauna's revelation, made her the prime goddess of the Earth's animals. So upright in a reading, this card is telling you that you've already completed what you've most aspired to. Your ambitions have been realized. This is where you draw the white or red line and sit back and enjoy what you've accomplished. You've planted your flag where you've wanted to be. No longer do you have to worry and work hard. Your work is finished. There is nothing more to say or do than to rest on your laurels. Though, do remember that even if this is the ending of something that you've completed, a new goal will emerge and you will once again set out to finish it. Remember to focus on the area within your life where completion is desired and where you need to apply new concentration. Reversed, it says, when reversed, this card means that you are far from finishing what you have started and that you'd rather just leave it right where it is. It could also mean that someone or something is stopping you from completing a long-term goal you've been working on. Right, so I like that. For a minute there, when it kept on saying, oh, you can rest on your laurels and you finish what you need to finish, I thought, yeah, okay, and then what's next? Because as we know, life goes through cycles, doesn't it? Like, even if you finish one thing, that doesn't mean that you're done and you just sit on your ass for the rest of your life doing nothing. It's like there are new things to do, new accomplishments, new achievements, new directions, new pursuits. You know, there's always something new, even if you can successfully complete something. So, yep, again, I stand by what I said. It's like maybe you finished one phase of your life or thing in your life and now it's like, right, what next? And you may need a bit of guidance with that. So let's get the clarifiers out for you and let's look at that strength card as your main theme first of all. So strength, what do you need to know? We have the Emperor. Try that again. I think you already have the strength, if I'm being honest. I know initially I said maybe you need strength. Let's see what else comes out. I wonder if you already have this, and it's about how you use it, how you and it's will as well, isn't it? With strength, it relates to Leo energy. You've got a few cards of fire energy. Actually, you've got the strength card. Well, you are Sagittarius. You've got the strength card. The Queen of Wands is fire. She is Aries. The Emperor is Aries. You've got the Two of Wands. Well, you've got the Emperor twice. So you have got quite a bit of fire energy. But as I say, it might be that this is more representative of your will. And it's like, right, this is your will, your willpower. What are you going to do? Use that for next. So, okay, Emperor. Let's see what comes out after that. I mean, for me, the Emperor, that is kind of connected to will or sovereignty or power as well. So... And then is that the Empress? Wow, that is really empowered energy. So you probably already have this. And you get another major arcana with the Hermit as well. That's a lot of major arcana together. Let's get one more. Two of Cups. Okay, I'm going to get something for the Hermit, which the Hermit for me, again, if you've completed a cycle, it's kind of like, yeah, you've already got the strength. It's just like, what next? The Emperor, it's where you physically, practically create, build, plan, rule. The Empress, she's the creative part of things, isn't she? So she would create, and then he would sustain. The Hermit here, that's just it's for me, it's the contemplation, or it's the ready for a new journey as well, possibly. And then I'll see where the Two of Cups connects. Yeah, we'll see. We'll clarify that. I did have a thought, but I'll wait and see what comes of that. So Hermit, first of all, what do we need to know about that Hermit, please? Hanged Man, similar energy. I mean, has the Hanged Man? Yeah, the Hanged Man's up twice as well, isn't it? So again, deep in thought, perspectives, looking at the different perspectives. What do I want? What could I do next? What do I need? What can I use my power or my strength to do? Nope. Try that again, the Hermit. Okay, the Devil. Okay, it's the same cards, the Devil and the Ace of Wands. So you may be taking a bit of a pause at the minute. The Devil doesn't feel bad. I know it's often about restrictions, fears, etc. It just feels like at the minute, just being held back, but not in a necessarily negative way. You've just got the Hermit, the Hanged Man, the Devil. It's three cards of like non-movement, isn't it? So as I say, it's just like that, taking that pause. What do you do next? What's the new chapter? What's the next step? What's the new passion? Do you have another passion that you want to pursue? Do you have anything in mind? that you want to do now. Let's look at the Two of Cups. There may be a little bit of a warning with that Devil, actually. There might be a little bit of a warning there not to get tempted by, I don't know what the right word is. Well, one thing, something that's not beneficial for you. I'm not really sure how to express it, but just not being tempted by bullshit, basically. And I don't know what that could mean. I guess one thing I could say, like, say if one of the things you've completed is you've for some reason or somehow you've ended up with a lot of money, whether it's you've worked and invested and ended up with a lot of money, or you won the lottery or something and won a lot of money, and you were thinking, right, what can I do with this now? How can I grow it or use it or do whatever with it? Like, one thing that you could be tempted by is like wasting it on stuff that you don't need. Like, you could gamble with it, and it's like, well, if you want to gamble, you can gamble. But I'm just thinking of that story. There was a man, it's happened to quite a few people actually, but I know specifically, I remember the story of a man who won the lottery, and I don't know how many £1,000,000 he won, but after, was it within 1 year or something, he blew it all and he was on benefits again. I think I don't know if he used it to gamble, bought lots of expensive things with it. I think he bought prostitutes, whatever. He basically wasted the money. He was just tempted because he'd achieved so much. Well, not achieved so much because he didn't achieve it, did he? He won it. He was very lucky and he won the money. But it's like he had a fall from grace, didn't he, really? So, yeah, that's the only thing that I can think. Like, I'm not saying that's literally what's happening, but that's along the lines of don't be tempted to waste what you've built, like the strength or whatever you've built, or, yeah, I can't explain it any better than that. So, Two of Cups, you've got the Ten of Swords. Seven of Cups, the Tower. Let's get one more. I'm just going to get one more. I do have a big thought on this, and it's similar to that Devil energy, to be honest. Again, I think it's just an energy. Whatever you choose to do next, whatever new cycle you choose to go into, there's something about sincerity is one word. Something about sincerity, it's genuine, it's heartfelt, that instead of being tempted by something that could potentially stab you in the back, something that's just insecure, don't be tempted. I'd say the Eight of Cups and the Temperance card is don't settle for any kind of bullshit, any kind of bullshit temptation. You may have options, you may have choices, you may have a choice to make, but don't choose something that's going to end up being detrimental to you. I feel like saying choose something high vibe, and that's not something I would normally say, and I'm not sure how to interpret that. But again, all I can think of is that example I gave of that guy that wasted his lottery winnings. Is metaphorically, don't do that. Try not to do that. Do something valuable. Okay, that's the key word, valuable, whether it's emotionally valuable, physically valuable, whatever it is, whatever you do next, don't put yourself in a position where you have that fall from grace. Do what's in your best interest. It's like you've come too far to kind of regress. And I think even when we do regress, because it can happen, it's like once you've elevated, if you want to put it that way, when you regress, it feels really weird. It's like a square peg trying to fit a square peg in a round hole if you regress. But anyway, yeah, that's enough metaphorical talk. Let's see what else comes up here, because I've spent ages just on that one card. So let's look at the Queen of Wands. Again, it's a strong energy. Potential is a word that comes to mind with this. It might tell us what your desires are if you have any, but let's see. I think there's something about sharing as well that I didn't see at first with that Two of Cups. Again, if you're in a situation where you've successfully completed something, and you've gained knowledge, you may have even gained power, resources, whatever, share that experience or the knowledge of that experience, that it could be helpful to others. So that might be, it might be worth that. And sharing it could be on a big scale, like writing a book, doing a TED talk type thing or something, or it could just be sharing it with friends or whatever, or just a few people. But there was something about sharing there as well. So you're sort of sharing your happiness, your success. Queen of Wands, let's get on with it. What do we need to know about this Queen of Wands? And she can be influential as well, can't she? She can be inspiring, so another reason to share in some capacity. Choices. Right. It's not telling me what the choice is, but it's telling you that you want to make a choice. What else do we need to know? Is there a specific thing on the cards, or... So you've got the Hierophant, which can be... Oh, it feels like it's that sharing what you know again, because the High Priestess is what you know, isn't it? And it's in reverse. So that to me is a way of saying sharing what you know. You have the Hierophant, which is it can be teaching, can't it? Teaching and guidance. Let me have a look at that. Someone could specifically be wanting to teach, whether it is a literal teaching in a school or more along the lines of TED Talks, videos, tutorials, writing a book, that sort of thing. Tarot even, because you've got the High Priestess here, or some sort of spiritual guidance, and then the Hierophant is a spiritual teacher too. It might be a case of wondering how to do that or which path to choose, because there are many different paths. If you want to teach something, there are many different paths to do that. Let's look at the High Priestess in reverse. Sharing what you know, speaking out. I was going to say if the King of Swords comes up, then it's sharing what you know, but the Knight of Swords has done it for me. You could be very inspiring to people, to be honest, so it might be worth doing that. Let's look at the Hierophant. He's there, King of Swords. I would say the Tower is there because whatever you've achieved, if you've successfully completed a massive cycle, the world often indicates a massive cycle. The Tower for me, it can be like in this kind part of the reading, it can be like the ups and downs. It's like your experience, isn't it? Like whatever you've achieved, whatever you've done, it's the ups and downs of that experience. Like I think I don't know much about billionaires, I don't really follow them, but I'm sure they all have, many of them have stories about the failures and the ups and downs, and how, how the struggle to succeed. I feel like they would probably have a lot of stories about that. So that's where that Tower comes in for me. It's sharing your experience to help others. So let's put these away, because I feel like that's pretty straightforward. So as the Queen of Wands, in Queen of Wands energy, it's like choosing, deciding how you can share with others, how you can share your experience with others. Or it's advice sort of to do that. If you're not sure what to do, what your next cycle should be, then it's kind of a heads up that, yeah, this might be a good idea for you. So the Star as your external energy. The Tower again, but in reverse this time. The Three of Cups. Ooh, I like this. I've got a big thought on this as well. Try that again. I'm going to get one for the Four of Pentacles. Let's see what that says. Yeah, get one more for that. Queen of Cups in reverse. Yeah, again, it's giving the same energy. You might feel driven or inspired again to share your experiences, to share what you know. For some, it could even be something about using what you've learned and your experiences to work with others, like collaborate with others possibly, because you've got the Three of Pentacles there and the Three of Cups there. There is a support element with that Three of Cups. But again, that thing about inspiring and support, it's like, okay, so it's going to sound a little bit corny, but it's almost like you might feel inspired to be a guiding light for others. To be frank, the Tower again, for me, that Tower, it's sharing how you've overcome whatever the hell you've had to overcome to get to where you are. That is supportive. That can be supportive to others. That can sharing how you may have built stability and what your legacy is can help others to achieve theirs. The Four of Pentacles, it kind of feels like, well, so it can represent other people who are feeling a bit stuck, or it can represent where you've felt stuck. Okay, there's a few ways it can represent you feeling stuck, actually. It can be you being stuck in the present if you're not quite sure what to do now as your next cycle, and as I say, encouraging you to collaborate with others. Be willing to open up and to explore and take a risk to explore with others. It can also represent where you've been, where you've come from, and how you've built yourself up. How you've made things work, what you've had to overcome, the risks you've had to take, the paths you've had to take. But overall, it's that guiding light, as corny as that may sound, type energy, inspirational energy. So yeah. But as I say, with that Surrender to Prayer card, it might be just that you feel you need some kind of guidance on how to yourself. Like, you might be able to guide others, but you might feel like you yourself need guidance, or like a spirit. You know, sometimes people want a sign, like a spiritual sign as well, that yes, this is the way that I should do this, or that specific thing that I should choose to do this. But let's look at the Emperor and the Hanged Man. That can be relating to your growth, to be honest, with the because this Hanged Man can be, it is perspectives, but it can be spiritual development as well. And then it's with the Emperor, so it's almost like, depending on what clarifies it, that's your growth. You've had to go through that development and that growth to become that Emperor energy and all of these strong energies here. Let's see what comes up for the Emperor and the Hanged Man as past energy. Yep, it's the growth. It's the growth. You've got the World here again. Let's see what else comes up. So the Five of Swords, the Devil, for me, that's the challenges that you would have had to overcome, or some of the challenges. Magician, but you would have been in that Magician energy. It's empowered. I will get a couple of clarifiers for the Magician on its own, just for the hell of it. King of Cups. Eight of Swords. Three of Swords, the Chariot. Is there something else under there? No. Yeah, it very much shows, as I say, for me, this is all about your growth, your past growth. Five of Swords, so that is, it's conflicts. It can be self-sabotage. It feels, for some reason, it feels like it could have been partly the doubts that you felt, or the struggles, you know, where you feel defeated. The Devil, that's like the fears that you can have, but it's like you've overcome all of that, and you've gained new tools as well with the Magician there. I will say with the King of Cups there, it's like gaining emotional maturity through these experiences. Again, you've got Eight of Swords, Three of Swords. That's difficult. That's pain. It can be disappointment. The Eight of Swords can be the periods of time where you didn't know what to do. Chariot is... So one of the meanings for the Chariot that I don't think we mention enough is that it can be about discipline and mastery as well, in choosing your path. And I feel like that's what it is here with that Magician card. It's where you've become empowered, basically. You've got empowerment with the Emperor, empowerment with the Magician, and that can come with the Chariot too. But it's your growth. So I'll leave that. And we will look at the Two of Wands. Again, choosing your path, choosing what you want to do, how you want to do it. So Two of Wands, we have the Queen of Pentacles. So the first question that comes to mind with the Queen of Pentacles in terms of making a choice, what are your values? Is that too much? I'm going to take them. That feels like a lot, but I'll take it. So what are your values? Okay, what are your values? What do you feel passionate? So this is all to help you make a choice. What are your values? What do you feel passionately about? What have you learned? What do you know? What do you feel like? What fills your cup, and what do you have to offer as well? You've got the Nine of Pentacles there. Let me get something for that Nine of Pentacles on its own. That could be related to confidence actually, but let's see. Why is the Nine of Pentacles there? Okay, I wasn't going to take that, but I will since it flew out. I think it's relating to confidence. However, it's sort of telling you that you can do this, but you know where we have that little inkling of wondering whether we can do something or not. It's that sort of feeling, like you could be someone who's highly successful, and even people who are successful have this, don't they? A bit of nervousness where they're about to go on stage and do a talk to thousands of people, and they've done it before, but every time they go on, it's like that bit of nervousness that they get. So I feel like that is that, but it's telling you that you have everything you need. It's just contemplating it for yourself. Again, what are your values? What do you feel passionately about? What do you know? What fills your cup? What do you have to share? You have it. You can do it. So I'll leave that there. So that's all to help you make your choice. Let's look at the Three of Swords, because I said that looks like more of a projection for the future rather than telling you that you're going to get hurt. So let's see. Three of Swords. And I'm not trying to cop out for anyone who hasn't watched my videos before. I'll get into the deep, dark depths of something. If you've seen any of the other readings I've done, I'll tell you, Taurus and Scorpio, there's a lot of heavy shit that goes on with them. So I'm not afraid to go into the heavy stuff, and I won't sugarcoat stuff, but it does genuinely look like a projection. So let's see. Temperance. Ace of Swords. Try again. King of Pentacles, Eight of Swords. That's okay. There's a thought coming through. I'm going to clarify the Eight of Swords, but I do have a thought coming through here, or a message coming through. I still think it's a projection, by the way. I don't think it's literally saying that anything painful is going to happen. It feels like it could still be that little tiny inkling of doubt. So obviously you've got the King of Pentacles here. That's someone who's very successful, very stable. For me, the King of Pentacles is the closest of the court cards to the Emperor. I know that he's Aries, he's fire energy, but for me, the King of Pentacles is closest. So you're already successful. Again, you've already had victory. You already have knowledge. You've gained knowledge. Temperance, you've already created something that you've successfully completed, but there's that little inkling of doubt. I'm going to say for someone here, I don't know if someone's ever suffered from really severe anxiety, crippling anxiety, and or mental health problems, addictions, whatever, any of those kind of problems you've suffered from, and you've overcome those. And I don't know if that's specific to what you want to share with others. Or if it's just that whatever, you've achieved something completely different, but there was those things were going on in the background, and there's a bit of a worry of having a fall from grace, that it's like I've achieved so much and there's just that tiny little bit of fear of what if I relapse. That's something that's coming to mind here. That's something that's coming to mind. In general, if it's not that, it's just that little bit of a just that little bit of a sense of doubt and possibly fear of disappointment as well, in terms of what you have to share, what you have to give. Maybe a bit of worry about whether you have what it takes, if you have something specific in mind, or you might even be thinking, well, I've achieved so much, what more do I have to give? What more could anyone want from me? Okay. There might be something for someone as well where you don't want to disturb your peace. Like I made that little joke at the beginning with the world, that it's like, as much as we can be successful and achieve things, there's always some new goal, new pursuit, whatever. It's like you don't just achieve what you achieve and then you sit on your ass for the rest of your life. There might be something where, and I'm not knocking you if this is the way you feel, but someone might be thinking, well, I've done enough now. I do kind of just want to sit on my ass. But there might be, I mean, for some, it might be like, say, if you're 60 and you're ready to retire, hats off, fair enough, and even if you're younger than that, if you want to retire, you retire. But for someone, the reason for wanting to stay in a comfort zone of, I've achieved this and I don't want to do any more, it can be because there is a little bit of fear attached to it, not just because I've done enough and I'm just ready to be comfortable now. It looks like there's a little bit of fear with it. Okay, I'm going to leave that. So let's look at the Magician. Let's look at the Magician. There might be something about boredom that was coming through for someone as well. I don't know what that means specifically, but something about boredom, fear of boredom. I don't know how, but fear of boredom came up with that as well. That could be for someone, if someone's thinking of or needs to retire for whatever reason. As one example, if someone has to retire and they're scared they're going to be, I know this would happen to my mum. If my mum, she's not too far off retirement age now. She's doing two part-time jobs at the minute, so she's got a decent balance of things. But she's the type of person, I don't think she'll ever be able to retire properly unless she's physically incapable. She will get bored if she has to retire. She's someone that would fear boredom if she had to retire fully. So yeah, that just came to mind, and it doesn't have to be about retirement, but just something about a possible fear of boredom came to mind with that. Anyway, let's get into the Magician, which is your guidance. So Knight of Wands was first, Two of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles. Let me just get one for the Eight of Pentacles, actually. Nope. Right, Three of Swords wanted to come out, but let me try that again. So there's something about guilt possibly as well. I don't know if that's that whole retirement thing again, that somebody might feel guilty about retiring, might feel a fear of boredom. Three of Swords. Did I pick that up off the floor? Yeah, okay. I can't tell if I picked it up off the floor. Okay, ignore me. I'm losing the plot now. My mind is racing, so I can't sort of concentrate on both. Let's try again. Yeah, I think somebody... Okay, so I mentioned something about guilt as well. So again, going back to that retirement thing, some people can feel guilty for retiring, or there's other ways the guilt can come up is if you've achieved something and you feel guilty if you've kind of achieved more than others. That's another thing that can come up. Like if you feel like, oh, well, I've achieved so much now, I can kind of take it easy, but there's people around me struggling, that can make people feel guilt. I don't know why this stuff is coming up, but here it is. Yeah, with this Eight of Pentacles, I don't know if there might be some worry here about if someone puts too much effort into something, about getting kind of drained by it. They want to make sure that they don't put their efforts and energy into the wrong place. So again, if you're going into a new cycle or choosing a new path or a new goal or something, you don't want to overwork yourself. That's coming to mind here. But it's the Magician. Well, it's probably a warning not to do that, actually. It could be more of a warning not to do that, not to overwork yourself. Right, the Magician, for me, the first thing I got from that was use your tools, whatever tools you have, whatever you've had from the last cycle, whatever you've achieved in the last cycle, as much as you might be going into a new one, doing something new, there are still tools from that you can use, and you can learn new things as well. I'd say with the Knight of Wands, that is definitely about learning new things as well, even if you're using some of the old tools. What sparks your interest, what sparks your passion, as well as what do you have to give. Okay, I think that's what the balance is, actually. It's like the balance between the old and the new. Let's get something for that Two of Pentacles. It could even be encouraging you to learn something new as well, to be honest. You might be teaching, but in teaching, a lot of teachers say that and I've worked with teachers and they've told me this themselves, they feel like they learned a lot from their students. I feel like that Strength card here now is courage. Courage to learn something new and try something new. If there are any concerns around that, yeah, definitely. You've got the Page of Pentacles, that's planting a new seed, starting something new. The Chariot is kind of going off on a new path. Having the courage to, yes, use the tools you already have, but to try something new, to learn something new as well, and to do things differently. There might be a fear of failure as well, of going into something new, into a new cycle. You might be having completed the last cycle successfully, it might be feeling a bit of nervousness going into the new one with whatever you're doing, that you sort of feel like, God, what if I can't do as well now as I did previously? Right, I'll leave it there. So I think the prayer thing, it is if you want spiritual guidance, but there's a faith element as well, praying to have faith that you can do more. This isn't the end, this isn't it. You know, there's more to it. There's more to life. There's more for you to do, more for you to explore, more for you to learn. So I'll get you a final card of advice from the Sacred Rebels book. But you have to, there's a lot of the Strength card came up a lot, and all those fiery energies came up a lot. So, right, that was really quick. I'm going to try that again. It would have been Defend to the End the Worthwhile, but I'm going to try that again because that came out so fast and it didn't quite feel right. So, final card of advice for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon and Rising. Final card for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon and Rising. No, why does it keep doing this to me? Right, I'm only going to be... No, that's too many. I'm going to have to try that again, to be honest. These are the ones that came out, but I'm going to try that again. I'm not reading 3, that's for sure. I only want to read one of these cards, to be honest, because they are very long and I don't mind reading them, but it goes over your head well, for me, it goes over my head if I have to take in too much information. So in one go. Just one, please. One card, if I can actually shuffle it properly. Yeah, there we go. For Sagittarius, Sun, Moon and Rising. Love it. Bring it into form. I think that's the right one. Bring it into form. Again, it's new cycle, isn't it? Time for something new. So I don't think that's blurred, and I'm going to read that from the book for you. So we've got 41. It says, beautiful dreamer, you can imagine wonderful worlds of light. You can dream up so many possibilities. Now it is time to bring those possibilities of light into the world. They need to be more than ideas. They need to live to manifest. The world, I love how it keeps on mentioning the world. The world needs not only your dreams, beautiful as they are, but also your creations. Get thee to thy desk, thy easel, thy computer, work, beautiful dreamer. Don't just dream, create. You are being asked to honour yourself with a commitment to complete, see that word complete as well, for completion, to complete your inspired tasks. This will help you to grow, and that is a wonderful reason to commit. But there is another reason too. You know that your inspired ideas are worth translating into practical form so that other people can access them and experience something special too. If you have been thinking about writing a book, painting a picture, or acting on an inspiration or idea, then this oracle is bringing you an unequivocal yes. Do it now. Don't dally or dither about the details or worry about how it is all going to work out. The universe loves a bold spirit. Once you take a step, it will rush toward you like an enthusiastic and chivalrous lover, opening doors, hand gently guiding at your lower back as you are moved forward. You will promptly be provided with all that is needed to take the next step. There is sacrifice inherent in translating the perfection of an idea into the limited physical form. Although something may be lost when turning a multi-dimensional concept of endless potential into something concrete, this oracle guides you to realize that there is much more to be gained. You must become free of this inspiration so that you can receive your next inspiration. It is already waiting for you, so on you must go. That's that cycles, isn't it? So, this oracle also confirms that the information you need to translate your ideas into form will be provided according to the higher wisdom of life. It may or may not happen by traditional routes. Even if it seems unimaginable, when it is time for something to be born into form, nothing can stop it. It will happen. If you have also drawn the oracle of the sacred fool, feel assured that your path of success is not going to unfold according to the usual rules and regulations. It might happen in ways that surprise you and others, but it will happen. It is meant to be. If you have not drawn that card but feel drawn to read its message, do so after the healing process below. Right, I'm not going to be doing that, but that's your message. So I don't have anything to add to that, to be honest with you. I'm going to leave it there for you. Feel free to like, share, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel. If you want a personal reading, see the info in the description box. Thank you very much for watching, Sagittarius. Take care.